Hi guys, my name is Ara and I'm 22 years old. This is my first video and let's talk about the law of detachment and the let them theory. Hey, maybe I don't know too much, I'm just 22, but if you feel called to this video and you want to be in a safe place where we can openly talk about it, here you are. Also, ignore my eye, there's a blood vessel that popped, so you're welcome to sit and stay. Grab your favorite beverage and let me explain this into simple terms because I feel that the law of detachment and the let them theory is over explained and it gets really convoluted in the process. My drink of choice is from my work and it's Diet Coke and Coke Zero mixed. Let's get into it. So when I was 20 years old, I think that I fully adapted the law of detachment. I had gotten deeply hurt by a friend who was so dear to me. It messed me up and I finally realized things don't belong to me. Stop controlling. And that also comes with the control aspect, which I can do a whole different video on the idea of control because that is something I still learn till this day. I feel that people have built up the law of detachment of this and that and this, but I think the let them and the law of detachment can be much more simplified, and hopefully this can click in a lot of people's minds the way it has clicked for me. I've shared this with a lot of friends and it worked for them, so I thought, why not share it to the internet? Why not? The idea of the law of detachment is nothing belongs to you. Let it go. What will attract is meant for you, right? And I know there's a lot of deeper meanings and you can do your own deep research if you really, really want to nail it. What made it solidify at the end of the day is the simple version. There was a situation that really, really hurt me when I was 20, so 2 years ago. I felt so confused. I didn't know why I wasn't wanted by someone. It felt that I got betrayed by a best friend. I felt that someone didn't want me romantically or physically at the time. It was a situationship issue, right? I finally woke up one day and I thought, why am I attaching myself to someone else's actions that don't resonate in the capacity of my heart? The second that clicked for me, I realized their actions aren't a reflection of me. Why am I attaching myself to something negative that I would never do? Why would I attach myself to someone hurting me on top of that? Why? And that's when I physically, and I tell my friends to do this all the time, throw your damn hands up. I usually go, it's not that deep. And as shallow as that sounds, it could be as deep as you want it to be, whatever. This physically puts me in like a state of like, what am I doing? You know, like it physically throws me off because this is such an odd reaction, like hands up, surrender, right? That also goes with the act of surrendering. Just let things happen. So once I established the law of detachment, of detaching myself from other people's actions that around me, because I'm not in control, I'm not here to show you. That's when I realized I'm not here to show you how to love me. I'm not here to show you how to care for me as a friend. I'm not here to show a situationship how to treat me, how to respect me, because I have that for myself. Why would I need someone else to fill that cup? Why would I need someone else to fill that void? It also can go to a deeper meaning, and a lot of times people don't tend to dive deep and realize within themselves why they're so attached to something, whether that's a job opportunity. The reason it's called a law to me and something I've applied to my life is because when I get so wrapped up of a control aspect, I realize why do I need the steering wheel? Why do I need to be the conductor of the train? I am the train. As weird, dumb, whatever, silly as it sounds, I'm the train. I'm the conductor of my own thing, but I can watch that happen. I don't need this control all the time when it's something that doesn't align with me. None of that aligns with me. Why am I going to attach myself to a negative thing? Just boom, cut it out. Just cut it out. Not that I was expecting this to happen, but what I learned in that experience that first taught me the law of detachment when it just clicked for me was there was remorse. They came back. They talked to me. It was solved. Everything's good now. It's been a while. I've detached myself from it then, and I'm still detached from it now, right? But it usually works in your favor. And I don't say that doing it in a manipulative way. I mean, I hadn't known at the time, just me detaching and be like, that is a you thing. It usually gives them a mirror to themselves and they realize, oh crap, I lost what I had, or things just come flowing your way. Does that make sense? It's usually just positivity and you'll thrive a lot more. It will just beat you down at the end of the day. You don't need that, right? And that's when the let them theory came in. So right after that clicked for me, I had learned about the let them theory years before that, but it finally applied in that present situation. Once I detached, I felt this urge to let them. Because at that point, I'm not trying to control. I'm not trying to prove myself to you. I know who I am. I know the capacity I hold, and you don't align with me. So that's when I let them. I completely went like this. I put my hands up in surrendering, and I said, okay, I'm going to let you do you. Who am I to control your journey? Who am I going to control your morals? I don't care. That's not my thing. I'm going to let you do you. So Once I did that, I let them do them. Again, they ended up coming back to me. They apologized. They felt what they felt, right? That should not be your end goal, to just have this ulterior motive. It should not be that. It should be just for you to have peace. Because the second you detach yourself and you let them, first of all, whether or not they come back to you, because they don't always do that. And I'm not talking about relationships. I'm talking about, this goes for your bosses coming to you. This goes for opportunities in life. This goes for relationships. This goes for friends. Detach and let them. Sometimes they don't come back, but God, you're going to have so much more dignity. Your morals are going to stand. You're going to feel at peace, and you're going to fill the void with your own heart. You're not going to feel anything else. Nothing's against you anymore. It's just you working with yourself and who you are and staying strict to that. The next point. So with that being said, I'm going to simplify this more with like a relationship standpoint, because I believe this can maybe help a lot of girls or guys as well, the let them theory in relationships. Because I've had a lot of friends ask me, how am I so calm? How am I a chill girlfriend? Or how am I so calm? Or how am I so willing to let them do what they want? Right? I get this all the time. When I'm single, if I have an opinion on something, or if I'm in a relationship, I get questions all the time. So if I'm with a partner, I will never, ever tell you to not go out. I don't care if someone cheats on me. And that usually is the shell shock immediately to whoever I tell, right? Or partner. I've always said, I don't care. And immediately it's a reaction. They're like, what do you mean? Like, you don't care if you get cheated on? Duh, of course I care, right? But at the end of the day, I don't attach myself to that. If you choose to willingly go cheat on me, emotionally, physically, whatever you want to call it, if you go to cheat on me, that is not a reflection of me, because I know how to fill my own cup. I know who I am. And if you're doing that, there's clearly something else going on, whether that's unfulfilled with yourself, you're insecure, and honestly, God knows what. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to feel the sadness. The only thing I will be grieving at that point is the love that I'm not able to give you anymore, because I will walk away and you won't see me again, and I will not hold that hate for you. So that's the biggest shell shock that I talk about with people, that they're like, how do you do that? Also, if I need to give someone space in a relationship, I will do that. And that also shocks a lot of people. I've had so many conversations about that with my friends where they don't get that. They want to be attached to their partner at the hip, right? For me, it's the opposite. I can be more present in some partners' lives. There's also been ones where I'm not as much in their life. We have opposite schedules. That's fine. At the end of the day, I use the law of detachment in a different sense. So with my last point, it was the let them theory. Like, I'm going to let you do you, because at the end of the day, your actions are you. If you choose to F up, if you choose to do good, I'm going to let you, because I'm not going to control and manipulate a person that you're not or you are, period. As well as I'd hope that reciprocation is for me. With the law of detachment in a relationship, I'm not going to attach myself to another person. I am my own person. They respectfully are their own person. And I'm not going to attach myself. If there's all these negative emotions, first of all, I'm going to dive deep in a relationship. I'm going to understand where that's coming from, where it's stemming from. How can we work with that? Do I want to work with it, right? Why the hell am I going to sit here, eat myself up at night in a situation of I'm attached to you? There's been times where I'm so fixated in a relationship, as anyone would, where it's going wrong or you're overwhelmed or whatever it may be. This is when you take a goddamn step back and you go, what is going on? Why do I feel this way? Do I need to communicate? Blah, 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 blah. And once you've done all that, detach. Who are you to lose yourself in any situation? And that is just the law of detachment as a whole. Who are you to lose yourself, go against your morals, go against who you are? It's not worth it. And I don't mean that in a shallow way. I mean detach, because someone else's life is not yours. Your partner is not yours. They're their own being. You guys could come as two, you know what I mean? But you're not them. Let them be them. So I hope that made a little more sense. I like to use the relationship example because I feel that at the times I've explained to those I love or friends or just strangers, like the let them or law of detachment theory, every single time it starts to go through, but then I'm like, all right, let me use a relationship example, because that's when it clicks for people. They're like, oh, I get it. The point is, it's going to take a lot of inner work. And if you've never done it, or you haven't had a moment where you kind of step out of that and you go, whoa, even on accident, you can just sometimes like do this subconsciously, like, oh shit, like I need to take a step back, right? It is not easy. It is not easy. And if you're a very controlling person deep down, or you feel things haven't went your way and it stems from your childhood, that's going to be a hell of a lot harder. For me, it just clicked one day and I got lucky. But I do know a lot of people where my friends have started to apply it and they ask me for guidance or how they can go about things, or detach or not feel the other person's energy as much, right? And I've had to help them. And it's not an easy process for a lot of people. But I do believe that is something we should all learn, especially going into our 20s. It's better sooner than later to learn that because nothing belongs to you. Everything's an experience. You are just a soul experiencing life. It is that simple. It's not easy, but it's simple to understand. With that being said, that is my way of the law of detachment and the let them theory. Let people be them. You are not here to control, alter, change someone's journey. They have to be who they are. Are you really trying to gain that control to be heard? What's the point? Going back to a relationship example, because I feel that makes more sense in a lot of explanations. If you are trying to make them see you, if you are trying to make them put effort in, if you are trying, is that really them? Or are you trying to manipulate the resolution of it? Let them be them. Let them learn. It's not even a lesson. You should never, the second you get the idea of like an ulterior motive, like I want them to see me for this, I want that, girl, that's when you need to detach. That's when you need to not let them. You need to just step to number one and go, law of detachment. This is not, I am detaching myself from their soul because who am I to control them? That's their life. Then you can let them. You can let them be them and love them from afar. And if that's really affecting you, leave. That goes for relationships. That goes for friendships. The reason that I wanted this to be my first video is because I live by this. I really do. And I apply it to my everyday life. And this goes for everything. And I know I've mainly based this off of relationships. But again, that is the best way I can explain a lot of these situations. With that being said, this wasn't a whole relationship video. And I just hope it solidified a little better. I hope that I had simplified it a little better for those who don't understand or it's been really complex. And like I said, you can do your own research and go deep into it and really apply it to your life and the actual law. There's books on it. There's spiritual like awakenings on it. You can learn that religiously. But I hope that this simplified it to an easier extent from just an average 22-year-old. The reason why this also just came up is because I've been kind of explaining it to my friends recently. I have several friends where they've been in a relationship for years, off and on. And I've explained because they have this need to control and they know that about themselves. And that's where for someone like one of my dear friends, it's harder for them to just let go. And that is so understandable. And I've been there. I have. But you have to understand you're not attached to anyone. You got to let people be people. You are not here to parent anyone. Everyone's a grown adult. You are here to just live your life. We don't have the same journeys. And I know it's hard to let people go, let situations go, let jobs go, let lifelong goals go. But if it's not serving you, if it's bringing more negativity, detach. Be you. Do inner work. Feel your own soul. Know what you want. And let life go on. I plan to do a lot more videos on grieving, control, just talking, relationships, ending of cycles, just everything. Anyways, that's the end of my video. Thank you for listening. And I hope this reached the right audience. And yeah, that's all.